Well, howdy y'all. Welcome back. It's been a minute. Well, I just want to get y'all up to speed on what's happening with me and going on with the channel and a few other things that I've got coming down the pipe. It's a new year, and, well, I don't particularly believe in setting New Year's resolutions. I think they're silly, stupid, and short-sighted. However, I do believe in setting New Year themes. And so, spending the month thinking about, what do I want to do with my life for 2026 and moving forward, I've decided that I'm going to make the overall theme for 2026 to be get back on track. And I'm going to be documenting this on the channel. Now, getting back on track, what exactly does any of that mean? This is mostly a rail fan channel, even though I haven't posted a whole lot of rail fan train things on here. This is still pretty generally a rail fan channel. Narrow rails is in the name, so most of y'all will be familiar with the idea of throwing a switch. When you throw a switch, you're not just setting that train down a particular track temporarily and then while it's halfway over the switch, throw it back. Because whenever you do that, you're going to derail the train and you're probably going to have to pee in a cup. Not fun. When you throw a switch, you're setting that train down on a semi-permanent course. Whenever a switch is thrown, that train is going straight down that particular route, and it is not stopping until it has reached its destination. So that's what I'm doing. I'm throwing a switch. I'm not living. My life is very routine. It's very predictable. I have a cushy, comfortable indoor job. I have a pretty regular schedule. I get up, I take a shower, I make my coffee, I hop in my car, I drive to work, I get yelled at by tourists for 8 hours, I come home, I do whatever I can to decompress from my day, and then I start over. Now for some people, this kind of routine is perfectly fine. But it's not for me. I'm not an indoor cat, never have been, never will be. If it's 80 degrees and sun shining outside, I want to be in the 80 degrees. If it's raining, if it's snowing, whatever it's doing outside, I want to be in it. I want to be outside. I am not an indoor cat, and I do not handle situations that are predictable very well. I get bored easily. My life needs a change because I'm getting to the point where I don't look forward to waking up in the morning. And the thing that makes that especially sad for me is I used to know what it was like to be excited to wake up in the morning. I used to have a job that I loved. I got up every morning. I had co-workers that I loved like family, and I was so excited to get up in the morning. I couldn't wait to get to work, and I would go to bed as soon as possible every night just so that way I could wake right back up and do it all over again. And I want that back. But, as the old saying goes, complaining without proposing a solution is just bitching. And anyone who knows me knows that I'm particularly good at that. However, I've had some time to think about where I want to go and what I want to do with my life. And I have decided that for the year 2026, my entire life, everything I say, do, think, spend, everything is going to be directed in one direction. I'm throwing a switch. And I have a certain list of goals that I'm planning to complete. Maybe not in the year 2026, but these lists of goals are what are going to motivate me through the year. And I have this complete list of things that must be done before I can depart on my next adventure, on my next journey. And I want to take y'all with me. My favorite quote that has ever been spoken is by a gentleman by the name of John Bush. He used to be the president of the Cumbres and Toltec Scenic Railroad. And he said, "You ain't gotta be old to be dead. So if there's something that really grabs you, something that really motivates you, you should go do it, and go do it now." And that's what I'm doing. I'm starting now. Top of the priorities list has got to be my health. Both my physical health and my spiritual health. Physical health? I've never been worse off. I weigh every bit of 300 plus pounds, and there ain't no reason that any human being should be this heavy, ever. And I'm actually now at the heaviest I've ever been coming out of the holidays. My weight has been a very big reason as to why I'm not able to do a lot of the things that I want to do with my life. My weight has kept me... It was one of the big things that was bothering me while I was in Alaska. You know, I just physically could not do the job because of my size. It was very restricting. So I've got to lose the weight. And I know that there is a pretty good looking feller underneath all of this. You know, I want to lose the weight and I want to build up some muscle, because whenever I go about throughout my day, I can feel along my sides, on my arms, underneath all of this fluff, there's like a really good looking feller under there. And there's a healthy feller under there. And I've got to bring him out. Other part of this, my physical health, is I've got to get some dental work done. My entire upper layer of teeth are basically shot. I look like the world's fattest meth head. It's the reason why I don't open up my mouth all the way whenever I talk. I've got to get my teeth fixed. I'm going to have to get a partial put in on my uppers, and I might be able to get away with fillings down here, but my entire upper layer's pretty much got to go. So that's going to be on my list. Is losing 100 pounds is the goal. Lose 100 pounds, gain some muscle in the process, and get a partial at least on my upper layer of teeth. If I can get my physical health under control where I'll be in less pain, because that's how I started the year. My new year started off with me having a tooth abscess. And if you've never got to enjoy that circle of hell, imagine somebody stabbing you in the face repeatedly, constantly, with no relief. So, once I get my physical health in order, I'll be in less pain, I will look better, and I will feel better because I will be better. And how am I going to do that? It's going to start with what I eat. No more processed bullcrap. If I'm going to eat a cow, it's going to come from a cow. If I'm going to eat something that come out of chicken, it better come out of that chicken. If I'm going to eat an egg, it's going to be fresh eggs. None of this pre-packaged nonsense. I want to eat better whole foods. I want to be more active, and we'll get into the activity part a little bit later. I'm going to start going to the gym more, and we're going to start working on some of these physical health things as well as spiritual health. My spiritual health also isn't doing great. My job requires me to work most Sundays. And working Sundays deprives me of being able to regularly attend worship. Now, there's not a whole lot I can do with my work schedule. But what I can do is I can get into a regular routine of daily prayer and devotional time. I feel like if I can do that, I'll be doing much better spiritually to make up for the gaps where I'm unable to attend my regular worship services. And I also want to spend more giving. If I can't give money, I want to give more of my time. I want to give more of my resources that I do have access of to my church and other charitable organizations, so that way I can help fulfill the Great Commission, and I can be the hands and feet of Christ in this world, which is all Christians are supposed to do that. So, health, physical, and spiritual. That's item number 1. Item number 2, lifestyle. I want to completely overhaul how I live my life. Because right now, what I'm doing, it ain't living. I'm a sedentary indoor cat, which is something that I'm not built to be. I want to get out. I want to do more. I want to do more outside, and I want to do more things that bring me peace. And cut out the things that deprive me of that peace. Lifestyle changes coming up. I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff outside, and I'm going to be doing things that are difficult. I want to do more things that are hard and difficult and challenging, because as I have found, some of my best memories have been made whenever I'm the most uncomfortable. So I'm going to start pursuing discomfort and getting out there and doing the things that bring me peace. And if they don't bring me peace, then I hope to at least get a good story out of it. Also, going along with the lifestyle changes, I rent this house with a roommate. And I think the world of my roommate. Great guy, one of my best friends on the planet. But living with a roommate does come with challenges. And renting is hard. Especially whenever you do get the opportunity to move somewhere, moving becomes such a hassle because you've got to accumulate the necessary resources to be able to move. You've got to pack up all of your things. You've got to come up with the money to put down, deposits, first month's rent, deposits on utilities. There's a laundry list of things that need to be done in order to move into a house. I've done it enough times now to where I know I never want to do it again. But I don't want to be stuck in one place. I want to be able to travel around the country and do the things that I love. And in order for me to do that, I'm going to have to be more like a turtle and carry my house along with me. So, part of my lifestyle plans and part of my goals that I'm going to start working towards is I've decided that I'm going to build myself a tiny house. I've kind of got some plans rattling around in the old noggin up here, and we'll talk more about those later, but it'll generally be a very small 8 by 16 wood structure on a 20-foot long trailer. Now, in order to move my tiny house, I will need to also get a new car, a new truck. Probably something a little sturdier than a Tacoma, if I'm being honest. And Lord knows my Ford Edge is not long for this world. So, it's going to be a lot. New tiny house being built. In order to pull around the tiny house, I've got to get a new car. Not only do I have to get a new car, but I've got to get a pretty sturdy truck to be able to tow that thing around. I've got to get my physical health in order and my spiritual health in order. And there's going to be a lot of work that goes into doing all of this. But I feel like at the end, whenever I do have these goals met, I will be better positioned to be able to take off and depart on a brand new adventure. And this is where the channel comes in. Now, I'll still be posting random videos here and there and showing y'all cool things that I find. If I build a model train layout, I'm going to show y'all some of my model train layout stuff and, go on hikes and that sort of thing. But the format of the channel is going to change just a little bit. Number one, we just crossed over 100 subscribers. Woohoo! But, as the channel does grow, I'm going to start putting out more content. And the bulk of the content, the backbone of this channel, is going to be a weekly vlog. That kind of sums up the week. What adventures I'm going on, what I'm doing, how are we working towards these goals. And I'm going to keep y'all in the loop. I'm going to keep y'all updated. And we're going to go on this journey together. So, I'm going to finish up my coffee, I'm going to make me a bite to eat, and I will see you guys next week.